Are we doing a giveaway on this one too?
Yeah.
Top five, no debating. Top five, top five, top five.
Hey guys, welcome back to CineTopical. I'm Nate here again with my buddy Dylan.
AKA Strange Wang.
That's a lot of cups.
It's in my cup. You.
So today we got our top 5 favorite superhero sequels for you. But before that, we got another code we want to give away.
This one's going to be for the film Terminator, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. The sixth one was Just Drop Some Photos, so that was cool. Linda Hamilton.
Yeah, and she looks like a total badass in it too.
Yeah, still a babe. So if you go to our top 5 Pixar movies list, the eye will be above one of our heads, and go to and watch it and tell us what was Nathan's number 1 Pixar movie. And come back, comment on this video, and subscribe. Message us on here or Instagram or something, and we'll get the code to you.
Yep, there you go. All right, so in case you don't know how we do our top 5s, quick breakdown. One of us will do 5 and 4, talk about it. The other person will do 5 and 4, 3-2, 3-2, and then we'll trade off number 1s. We also have what we call the Zemeckis rule. And basically, Zemeckis directed Back to the Future, all about time travel.
Yeah.
So if one of us has a movie lower on our list, the other person has it pretty high, that person will say
2 spots higher. You'll call us Zemeckis on it.
Yeah, they'll say Zemeckis rule, and that just means we're going to talk about it when it gets to the part where it's higher on their list than we had it on ours. So without further ado, me first?
Yeah, if you want
first.
To. Oh, okay.
Cool. So number 5 on my list of top 5 superhero sequels is going to be Thor Ragnarok.
Zemeckis.
Okay. So we'll talk about that later. Number 4 on my list is going to be Spider-Man 2.
That was my number 4.
Really?
Before the video, I said we was going to have 4 out of 5 in common.
Yeah.
And so far, I'm on a good track.
Probably. That's 2 out of 2. And we had
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 in the same slot. So I will admit, I haven't seen this movie in a really long time, but I've watched lots of clips from it. And
I watched it after Homecoming.
after
So
Homecoming?
It's recently fresh.
Yeah.
I really like the movie because today we get a lot of formulas. DC has their formula. Marvel has their formula.
Mhm.
X-Men kind of has a formula. Deadpool has a formula.
Right.
So Sam Raimi's Spider-Mans, they're not Spider-Man movies.
They're pioneering.
They're Sam
Mhm.
Raimi movies.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about the movie. There's a lot of Sam Raimi go-tos that you would see in Evil Dead, the later ones like Army of Darkness and that, which I
Mhm.
love those films.
Right.
And you get these in Spider-Man, so like you taking 2 things I love and making it different. So I want to like a accurate representation of Spider-Man.
Mhm.
I'm gonna go watch like the '90s cartoon or read a comic book. This is something that's new, it's fresh, and Doc Ock as a villain.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Fantastic
great.
Doc Ock. One of the best comic book movie villains, period.
Yeah.
And this, like, kind of what you were saying, this is a time before comic book movies existed.
Yeah. You had
Right?
you get 1 a year.
You had some X-Men movies, and then some kind of off-the-beaten-path stuff, like Spawn, and, like,
Blade.
Yeah, and Blade, and that kind of stuff. But, like, and, you know, your Batmans and your Supermans, but, like, Batman didn't really have an identity because we get a new director every
Yeah.
single time, and a new actor every single time, and it's not really fluid, and all that kind of stuff. That movie is phenomenal. Like, it fit perfectly into the time period that it came in. It laid the path for what was to come. So, really, all the Batman movies and Superman movies are great, but Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy and those early X-Men movies really laid the groundwork for what was to
Yeah.
come with Marvel. And, you know, you can throw DC in there because,
Yeah.
you know, they're trying. They're
trying real hard, yes.
But yeah, number 4 on my list, Spider-Man 2. So, what's your
My number 5 is X-Men First Class.
Go ahead.
Watching this movie was great because it was different from every other X-Men movie. None of the cast returned except for Wolverine and a small cameo.
Mhm.
Fassbender killed it as Magneto.
He did.
Charles Xavier was played by
Ooh,
the guy from Split. And
James McAvoy.
yeah, James McAvoy. And like you really get those 2 characters fleshed out, and you get Mystique. She's really fleshed out, and I like this movie so much because it's different. It's a time period piece. You go through history, the Cuban Missile Crisis with them,
Mm-hmm.
and like you go back and watch X-Men 1, which I grew up watching, and it's like this is kind of a letdown. My number 4 was Spider-Man 2.
Your number
obviously.
4 was Spider-Man 2, so to my number 3. And I honestly, my 3, 2, and 1. 1 is pretty clear cut, and I'm sure we'll have the same number 1.
Obviously.
But they're all very tight, especially these next two. Like, for me, they're almost interchangeable because these are all just really, really good superhero movies. Number 3 for me is going to be Civil War.
Didn't make my list.
Really?
Yeah.
You must have a surprise on there then or something, because...
I mean, the reason why Civil War didn't make my list is because you're getting more than one movie.
I disagree.
That's why.
I think that you're focusing on that. So obviously, the big part of that movie is the one big airport fight. Like that's the go or at the end when Cap and Bucky are fighting Iron Man. Those are like the highlights, clearly.
Yeah.
But there's still a whole other movie that happened before that, and at the very end, it's really still all about like Cap's unconditional love for his buddy and standing up for him. You know,
like it's great. Like it's probably my second favorite superhero movie. I think on the MCU movie list we did, which you should check out. I'll put an eye right there for it also. But I'm pretty sure it was my number 1. Pretty positive it was.
It was both of our number 1.
See, like I enjoy the film, but as a sequel to Captain America, if it was an Avengers sequel, no doubt.
It is. Well, we'll just have to agree to disagree.
Yeah,
But
we usually do.
um,
Why do you love it so much?
oh man, so I feel the exact opposite from you. I feel like it's a great coming off of Winter Soldier storyline because it just shows how devoted Cap is to his buddy. You know, it really does show that unconditional love for him. Like obviously, you know, we know that Bucky didn't really have control over the crazy shit that he was doing, right? But to know that someone that you care about committed pretty unspeakable things and to still say, no, like, I want you, I care about you, like, that's legitimate unconditional love, right?
Yeah.
And I really do feel like that is what is at the heart of that story.
Captain Mr. Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So, I get, like, Mr. Rogers, I get it. So, obviously, a lot of that does get kind of hidden behind that excellent fight sequence where you get Ant-Man's introduction into the full MCU and Spider.
I thought you were talking about the one at the end where they're passing the shield back and whooping Iron Man's ass.
That one is awesome too.
Like, I guess I was looking for the whole spy thing to continue because I don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so they didn't really finish that storyline. They saved it for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I heard.
Okay.
That's Hydra, is S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
So I wanted more of that and more of the spy.
Fair. All right, so my number 2 is going to be Winter Soldier.
That's my number 2.
Nice. So I went back-to-back Captain America movies on my list. So the first Captain America, the first Avenger, the first one, solid MCU movie on its own, definitely good. But its sequels like raised the bar.
Yeah.
So I think Winter Soldier and Civil War were in my top 5 MCU movies. Period.
That's
right.
well too, I think.
So,
yes.
But yeah, just like. So, obviously, in the first one, we get him in his regular time period up until when he gets frozen, and then the end he comes out. And then Avengers, we get him acclimating to this new world. So, in Winter Soldier, you get him looking at that list of things he needs to catch up on.
Yeah.
Like, the whole movie is just him acclimating to the present time, right?
Yeah.
You get some Black Widow action in there, too. And I really like their dynamic because it never feels like it has to be flirtatious or romantic. They're just like squad mates doing this thing together, developing a little bit of rapport. You have that whole like spy, cat and mouse, trying to solve all this shit, like kind of thing to it.
I feel like that movie is what elevated the rest of the MCU.
Yeah,
like you get a spy movie in this. I believe. I think I know Ant-Man came out afterwards, which was a heist film. You can make a superhero film and make it different. Right. And, like, you can have good actors in there. Like, Robert Redford, his scenes are so much better in that movie than someone else. Your mediocre Marvel actor that would be in, you know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure,
Iron Man 2 or something.
Yeah, I agree. So, and the other thing is, I think, and it really just kind of playing along with what you're saying, it really showed that you can take these characters and put them in any genre
in the real world,
and
especially with Captain America,
and have them be that character. You don't have to ship. So the tone of Winter Soldier is a complete change from the tone of the first Captain America, the first
definitely.
Avenger, right? That one's all like just adventurous and like
Yeah.
America and patriotic and all that kind of stuff.
It's a comic book movie.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas this one is just kind of like much darker, much more like mysterious.
Take the names out, you have a action thriller. The choreography for the fight scenes were great. You start off with a great back and forth between Steve Rogers and George St. Pierre, and then you move on to the elevator
I forgot
scene,
about that. Oh my gosh.
and then him and Bucky at the end.
Yeah.
And Falcon. You do some cool shit with Falcon in there.
Mm-hmm.
And Crossbones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, good shit.
Yeah.
Both our number 2s.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3 was the Ragnarok. This
Oh,
is
okay.
Mecha's from earlier. I love this movie. The ending, I was really like sour on, but then I watched it again. I ended up loving it
Mm-hmm.
because it's
it.
the same like with Doctor Strange. Similar to the Guardians of the Galaxy 2. We can't beat the big baddie, so we have something else that can, and it kind of cheapens it.
Yeah.
But with this, it makes total sense. You know, I feel like they thought there was much more thought put into it.
Yeah.
And they
I feel
earned
that.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Because Homeboy just got his eye ripped out. He's gone through so much shit. His father passed away. Like, they earned it more. And then you have the Hulk in there for, like, he adds a lot to the movie.
Yeah.
His comedy adds a lot to the movie. Goldblum adds a lot to the movie.
Oh, man. What a
Loki adds a lot to the movie. The Doctor Strange cameo adds to world building and it's very well placed.
It is very well placed. It
It's
does
not-
not feel forced. It's just, like, very good.
I forgot this was on your movie. You like it too.
Hmm?
I forgot this was on your list. I feel like I'm talking about all.
Oh, no, you're fine. Yeah.
So it's like the action scenes are really good. The humor is different from any other Marvel movie. It's a Taika Waititi film.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get the Dallas Cowboys reference with Des and Troy.
Yeah.
Like who puts an NFL joke in a superhero movie? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's great. And I'm gonna let you finish it off.
Yeah, I agree with everything that you're saying, without a doubt. I think what gives it an even bigger boost is just the fact that the first 2 Thor movies were very meh. Definitely on the bottom.
Yeah, it
definitely on the bottom half
did
of the
not have much
MCU
to live up
rankings.
to.
Yeah, so to come out swinging like that, I think a lot of what people talked about was how they just kind of let Chris Hemsworth be more of the kind of Thor that he wanted to be, just kind of more jokey. The haircut's pretty dope. They got rid of the love interest, but it's still kind of mentioned sort of subtly that they broke
added
up.
a new love interest.
Yeah,
Tessa Thompson. Oh my god.
yeah.
Future baby mama. If you see this, hit me up.
All right, so number 1, there's no way we don't have the same number 1. So
Yeah, dude.
The Dark Knight.
Ninja Turtles 2.
Okay, come
Dark
on. It's
Knight.
The Dark Knight.
Same thing is, I could say everything that I said about Winter Soldier, and it applies to this movie. You take away the cowl and the Joker's face paint, you have a great crime thriller.
It's true.
You have a great movie inside of a comic book movie.
And that's not to take anything away from the fact that it is a comic book movie or a Batman movie, but I think that just shows how well done it is. That you don't have to rely just on the characters themselves to make the movie, which is something that I think really any property that has established characters can fall into the trap of
Definitely.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So you can't sell a movie just based on Indiana Jones. You have to give me a good movie.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
So, probably the best superhero movie of all time.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely can make the argument for it. So, throwing the fact that it's a sequel, it just made its spot on the list completely easy.
It's basically the Godfather 2 of superhero sequels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easily.
Mm-hmm. For
and
sure.
like, we're not going to harp on it too much because like anything that we're going to say, you've heard it
You've
before.
seen it, you know. Yeah.
So, Joker, 5-star performance, won an Oscar for it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Batman, like, you put good actors into a superhero movie, you get good results.
Yeah, for
Anything
sure.
you want to finish off on?
Yeah, I just, that.
If you like this, like superhero sequels, so just like sequels in general, give this a like, subscribe, and comment below. And I'm Strange Wayne, he's Nate, and we're out of here.
I just don't know what's so strange about it.
Crazy. Top 5, no debating. Top 5, top 5, top 5.